Hey guys, Magnus Robert here, bringing you another video, and today, in this video, we are of course going to be looking at the worst buildings, the baddest, of 2021. So this is the second to last video of this series. I really wanted to wrap this up in January. I'm going to hopefully get my last one out on the 31st, so I have officially finished this series in January, talking about last year's stuff, but it is a lot of content to cover, and I don't want to just pump these videos out all in like 1 week. It's best to spread them out, so I've got some more things to upload. So yeah, this is going to be the worst buildings. We're going to start it off with some dishonorable mentions, and then we'll get into our top 10 worst. So without further ado, no point delaying it anymore, the first dishonorable mention is going to be the Anime District. Ooh. So, although I really love the character that comes with this building, which is of course Anime Homer, the building itself, it doesn't really scream great to me. Now, I don't hate it so much, I just think it's very plain looking, and for that reason, it's getting a dishonorable mention. I just wish there was something a bit more funky going on with it, really. It's not really like a massive complaint. It's a bit difficult to kind of, I don't know, it's not really difficult to decorate so much. I think the biggest thing is just like the anime Krusty Burger is like it pops out so much. This one just feels very drab, you know, it just doesn't feel very funky. Whereas, like, you know, it's meant to be an anime district, so I expect it to be something, you know, popping off. That being said, it is a fair translation from of course, the scene in the show, so I can understand that, but doesn't mean I can't, you know, hate on it a little bit. But like I said, I don't hate it so much. I'm not as fond of it as I am other buildings. So that's my first dishonorable mention. The second one is the Royal Tower. I'm officially sick to death of towers. I'm starting up like a New Year's resolution, and that is I'm going to hate on any towers unless they're very awesome and unique and they stand out in some way. And I'm the arbiter of what stands out. This one, I think this one is one of the better ones that we got in the year, so I'm not going to hate on this one too much. I do like the gold on it and the mix of the gold and the red bricks, and I like the little sort of walkway to it as well. Plus, this one was free, it's in the prize track, and you can buy multiple of them, so you have that choice. So, for that reason, it's not going on the actual list, but I do want to make a note that I am sick to death of towers, so there you have it. Mr. Sparkle Factory. So, again, this one I don't hate necessarily. I did consider putting this one on the list, but I decided against it in the end because I don't think it's that bad. It is a premium building, which kind of puts it down a little bit, but ultimately I think it's not as bad as I initially once thought. I still don't like it that much. I do think it's very bland looking, and that's my biggest issue with it. It feels like it needs a lot more detail to it. And if you look at the actual factory that's in the show, it doesn't really also have that much detail on it either, so I can kind of understand why they translated it this way, but that doesn't mean they can't actually add something to it, you know. I don't know, it just doesn't look right to me. It looks like it's missing something. It looks like this is like the first draft of this sketch, and they need to add like a few details, you know, like a crack or two, maybe like a few smidge in the paint. It just looks too bland for me, and it's not got much life to it. Contrast that to like the bendy elbow. The bendy elbow actually looks like it's got life. It looks like there's a history to that building. That's why I like that building so much. You know, it looks like it's got a history to it. This one just really plain looking, so I'm not a big fan of it, but not enough to put it on my top 10. But now we are into the top 10 list. I only had the 3 dishonorable mentions. None of them I really hated that much, and there was no more I really wanted to put on the list. But anyway, number 10 is going to be the Mad Doctorbbetts Manor. So here it is, Mad Doctorbbetts Manor. I mean, look at it. It's very kind of plain looking. There's nothing like very distinguishing about it. I mean, how do you even know that this is Mad Doctorbbetts Manor? That's because it's not. That was actually the Van Houten's villa. I'm sorry, I know I've done that joke before, but I couldn't resist. I think these two buildings look so similar, and there's other things as well that I think also have like similar looks to them, and yeah, I just think it's too close of a comparison. I really don't like the fact that they look awfully similar, and nothing about this building really stands out to me. Plus, it's premium. Yeah, I don't know. That's all I can really say. that kind of just rubbed me the wrong way, to be honest. And it's not a building that I particularly care that much about. Something about manors. Like, I really like houses, but when it comes to, like, mansions and manors, I don't really like them as much. I don't know why. I can't put my finger on a reason. That's my explanation. So, yeah, that number 10. I mean, it's not too high on the list, but I'm putting it at number 10 at the very least. Tower of Science. Hey, I was talking about towers, not science. So, like I said, I'm sick of towers, and I can kind of give the royal one a little bit of a pass, because it's free, and there's a bit of colour to it. This one, though, is just depressing looking. It's all disgusting bricks. That red is disgusting, and then the top of it makes it look like a giant penis. This just looks like a big cock, really. Doesn't necessarily mean it's a bad thing, alright? Cocks aren't so bad, but, like, I don't know about this building. To me, it's just kind of boring looking. Very depressing looking. It's premium, and I'm sick of towers, and that's all the reason I need to put it at number 9. There you go. Captain Mordecai's boat. Shouldn't really be a building. I think that's the biggest thing. It's difficult because some things, my sort of criteria for what should be a building, I've said this before, I think I said this in the top 10 best, is if it realistically would earn cash in the real world, then I think it makes sense. So whether that be, you know, sales tax from selling stuff, whether that be income tax from a home, or, you know, home tax or whatever, like property tax, I guess, yeah, property tax, whether it be, you know, something else like a gym, you know, like, or some sort of store, or some sort of public, you know, like a service, either something that gives you a service or sells a good, sells a product or a service, or is a house, or is like a hotel, I guess. That's a service, I presume. I presume it is a service. Whereas this one, I'm like, I mean, I don't think there's a good argument that it should be a building, because yeah, Captain Mordecai presumably catches fish on this, so he earns money that way, but then what's to say that then Mr. Plow's plow can't be a building, or, you know, the Plow King's plow can't be a building, because that's how they earn cash as well. So, I don't know, I feel like this one shouldn't be a building. I'm going to put my foot down here. The Sea Captain's houseboat is a bit of a difference because he lives in it, whereas this one, I don't know if we know, does Captain Mordecai live in his boat? I mean, maybe I'll count it if that's true, but either way, I don't think it makes sense to be a building. And on top of that, it's just very plain looking. The ship, it doesn't really scream anything, like scream out to me. It is very sort of, yeah, plain. It looks like there's something missing, basically. I feel like there is the sails look too small. I mean, I know they're kind of casted up, so maybe that's the reason, but why not have them casted down then? I don't know. Not a big fan of this one, that's all I'm going to say. So, that's Captain Mordecai's boat at number 8. Orthonoto, the Arty Ziff. What do I say about this one? There's something about it that just I don't like. It's difficult. It's kind of like an incomplete building, I guess. So you can kind of see why they made it a building, like it's a building in construction. But it's not a building. It doesn't earn like tax. So it really should be a decoration. I know, for example, we got those like houses ages ago where they're like half constructed, like the sort of pillars and the foundations are laid, but nothing else is. Those are decorations, I'm pretty sure. Like, this should be a decoration. It shouldn't be a building. It doesn't make much sense. On top of that, I really don't like the little Marge spider on top of it, because that was like a little gag in the episode, and it feels off. It doesn't feel like it should be there. They kind of like, it almost plays off as a decoration, but that was actually like a little spidery Marge like building away. So yeah, I'm just not big on this one. It kind of rubs me the wrong way. I think there's an argument it shouldn't even be a building. So yeah, that's why I'm putting this one on the list. Not a huge fan of it. BBQ Battle Booth. So I considered putting this one a bit higher, but I think I'm going to settle here. Because at the very least, A, this one's free, and B, I think there's a slight argument to be made that it could be a building. I'm like iffy on it, but I think there's a small chance, because it is, I guess, like a studio, so presumably, you know, it earns money that way. I don't know. I think it's all arbitrary what you consider a building, but I think there's a small argument to be made. The main reason I'm putting this one here, though, is I honestly really despise the ratio of it. I just don't think it looks right. Even like this, I'll show a design that I found some guy put on the EA forums. This is this dude's design, and I think it looks okay here, but it still looks off. I think he's made the best he could of it, but like it still doesn't look right. It looks like it's kind of positioned the wrong way, if you know what I mean. I don't know if everyone feels the same way, but yeah, I'm just not too big on this. But at the very least, it is free. At the very least, there could be an argument made that it should be a building. So there you have it, the BBQ Battle Booth, putting it here. Emma, there's absolutely, positively, absolutely no reason why this should be a building. Not even one. Because at the end of the day, this is like a semi-sentient robot thing that is inside another building. It's an interior thing inside of another building. So it makes no sense as to why it is a building. Why is this a building? It makes zero sense at all. And for that reason, it breaks my building criteria thing. With the BBQ Battle Booth, there's an argument to be made. This one, there just flat out isn't any reason why it should be a building. On top of that, it's ugly looking. It doesn't look very nice. It's fairly difficult to decorate. I mean, it's not like too hard, I guess, but it's not like easy. Actually, I said it's semi-sentient. I'm pretty sure it's like a mailing device, isn't it? I don't even remember. What? I forget exactly what it was. Anyway, even so, it shouldn't be a building. That's the main point here. Yeah, so that's it really. That's all I've got. It's kind of ugly looking, and it shouldn't be a building. And I think that's just reason for it being here. Steamed hams. Okay, so I considered putting this one higher. I'm gonna go with here though. Look, I'm gonna be brutally honest with you. A lot of the next ones on this list are super premium stuff because I don't like super premium stuff, and I think there's sometimes reasons to justify some super premium. Like there's some super premium stuff where I'm like, okay, I'm not gonna put this on the best, but I'm at least gonna not put it on the worst. Like Ian, okay. I think although he's super premium, he's very, I'm not worth the money, but he's close to worth the money. I don't think he's quite worth that much, but I can understand if someone thinks that like, that's the best character of the year. I can totally get it, because if he wasn't super premium, he would be. This building though, although I don't personally have it, I have seen there is no like quest line or anything for it, so I can judge it just on that. Looks wise, it's fine. I guess it's kind of funny, and it is like a bit of a meme building, you know, because of the steamed hams thing, which is funny as well. So in terms of design and looks and all that, it's all good. It's two reasons. One, it's super premium, which I really hate, because I think buildings especially shouldn't be super premium. I think characters you can kind of make an argument for, but buildings I just fundamentally disagree with, because you're meant to be designing like a town, so why put a paywall behind a building, or a decoration for that matter as well, regarding the Mr. Plow's plow. And two, as well, it's very expensive. It costs like, I think this one costed like £30. I think it was something like that, because the Jackpot Realty was 50. This I think was like 30 or 35, something like that. So it was fairly expensive. I'm letting off the one building, the big men's tall shop, or whatever it's called. I'm letting that one off the hook, because at the very least it's fairly cheap. But this one, yeah, it is very expensive. And then on top of that, I think that this was a missed opportunity. Like, this is the Steamed Hams building, you know? It's a meme building. Why not save this for a later update and do like a Steamed Hams event? That could be like really funny, and you can add this like building as like maybe like a quest line where like Skinner and Chalmers are like setting up a Steamed Hams operation, and you can add this building in there. I don't know, I think that's a missed opportunity in my personal opinion. So yeah, those are the reasons why I hate it. Super premium is the main reason though. So let's get into it. The next one though, we're going to be talking about Jackpot Realty. Okay, there's many reasons why this is here. First one, let's get out the way. It's super premium. And on top of that, it's not just super premium, it's hyper super premium. Because this thing was 50 quid. So screw that first of all. That's ridiculously overpriced. Does it look cool? It looks fine, alright? It's nothing too special. It's just a big building. It looks okay, alright? I don't mind the look of it. But it does not justify the price. And on top of that, and you might think, oh, well, shouldn't this, like, mean that the price is somewhat justified? And that's the fact that this earns maps. I actually disagree that that makes it more worth it. I actually think it lessens it, because it cheapens the whole, the whole Northward Bound expansion update. I think this building really cheapens that, because trying to put this behind a paywall and be like, well, if you want to earn more maps, if you want to earn that land, all this nice new land we've added, you got to pay us $50 and get this building, and that will help you earn it faster. And on top of that, it doesn't even earn that much. It just earns one extra map. It's not like it earns you that much. It doesn't progress it as much as it really should. I think for the price it should be earning like a map every hour, personally, in my opinion. Or because it's already like fairly difficult and tedious to get that land, which I think's fine. Like, it makes sense. They have added a lot of new land, so you can't expect them to just give it to you on a platter and get it very easily. I get the fact that you have to work for it. That makes sense. But to dangle this like thing in front of it, and it's not even that worth it anyway. I don't know. I just think that's kind of scummy. And plus, it's extra expensive, so yeah, screw this building. Screw it hard. I hate it. I mean, the actual building itself is fine, but everything, how it was added, and the price, and all that, and the way it was added, I really hate. So, I'm putting it at number 3? Yeah, 3. Robot Rumble Battle Arena. How could I put this above all those super premium things? Well, I despise this. I really hate these interiors so much. So let's get all through the reasons. Number one, this shouldn't be a building, okay? It's an interior, it's an interior, and it's actually a part of the Robot Rumble studio, a building that I actually said was number 1, but this is like a part of that. So it shouldn't be a separate building. It makes no sense why it's a building. At the very least, it should be a decoration. However, even if this were just a decoration, I think it is proportioned all wrong. It looks completely wrong to me. Now, I've seen a few designs, what people have done to them. To me, it just sticks out like a sore thumb. I don't think it looks great. This is, I think I'll show a couple of designs. We'll just go through a few of them, but they've all tried their best with it. Don't get me wrong. No fault on the designer at all. I just don't think like they fit. It fits really well. I mean, they've tried to like integrate it. It just doesn't look right to me. It looks completely off. And on top of that, the animation is like kind of cool. I will give it that. I do like the little animation with the robots coming out. But why not actually make this, again, another missed opportunity. Why not actually make this like an actual thing where you can battle your robots, like collect, like, so the Ralpho bot, right? You can send the Ralpho bot to fight Chief Nokohoma, or you can send Smashier's Clay to fight Chief Nokohoma. And I don't know why I think it's a missed opportunity. I just think it, yeah. So that, on top of that, I just think it looks wrong. Also, I think there's some missed detail in this as well. Like, the Robot Rumble, like, battle arena in the episode, to me, kind of felt larger. And on top of that, like, because you got to imagine that big Smashier's Clay was meant to be in this arena, but it would look tiny in this thing. So, I don't know. There's a few reasons why I hate this building. Rubs me the wrong way completely. I don't like it. So, even though it's only premium, regular premium, I don't care. For me, it's going at number 2. I'm insulted by this building. Insulted. But we must have a number 1. I've been more insulted by another building. So can we have that drum roll, please? Number 1 is Chili Blasters. Okay, so Chili Blasters. My reasoning for this might not seem solid to everyone, but to me it feels right, so just give me that respect, okay? So, although this is not, obviously it's a super premium, we've got to talk about that. So it's a super premium building added in Foodie Fight. I don't like that. I hate super premium stuff normally. Characters, I can sometimes give a pass to. Buildings, it's more hard for me to give passes on super premium buildings. So get that out of the way. It's super premium. Now, you might be asking, well, what makes this stand out more than the other super premiums? Like, surely Jackpot Realty should be number one because that building is more expensive. And that would make sense. However, Jackpot Realty came out on Black Friday. I've kind of come to expect that Black Friday gives us this shit, if you know what I mean. Like, I'm sort of allowed it almost. And this might not sound sane, or solid reasoning, but there's something, the fact that this was added during just a regular mini event, that's what really pissed me off about this building. That's why I hate this one so much, because they've kind of invaded my safe space, right? I expect no super premiums to be added during mini events or multi events, but now it's like the norm. They add a super premium every update. And like I said, characters I can somewhat kind of give a pass on, but buildings, man, it just really annoys me when they add buildings. I just don't like it. And also there's something about it. I don't mind the look of it. It's fine. They obviously have the animation with Homer as well, which it's a okay enough animation. It's nothing bad. It's fine. Again, it's all just fine though. It's all just subpar. It's mediocre. Yeah. I don't know. I don't even know if I probably wouldn't hate this building that much. It might even be on my top 10 best if it was just added in the prize track. But yeah, I really, it's something about the fact that they added this during a mini event, and obviously it's the normal how much was it? £8, wasn't it? $8.99, like almost £10. So £10 for this crappy building and animation. And yeah, the Black Friday, they're more expensive. Steve Hams and Jackpot Realty were more expensive than this building, and that's true. Okay, sure they were. But like I said, I've kind of come to expect that during Black Friday. I've kind of come to terms with it. I didn't come to terms with this. So yeah, this is number one. I don't care. It just rubs me the wrong way completely. That's my reasoning. It might not make sense. Sure, I don't care. I'm getting it number one. This is where my heart is. This is what my heart is telling me is number one. So I'm rolling with it. So yeah, that's it. Let's close the video off and yeah, just wrap up my thoughts. So those were all the worst buildings, in my opinion, of 2021. I don't think, to be honest, I think buildings have been pretty mediocre this year. I don't think there's been any particular ones I really, really, really hate. Pretty much up until I'm going to say, like, the BBQ Battle Booth. Because even that one, although I kind of don't like the look of it, that one itself didn't annoy me as much as I would have thought it would. Like, I think you can kind of make it work a little bit. I don't think it looks great. I still think it looks off, but I think you can kind of make that one work a little bit. And then all the ones below that one, so the Captain Mordecai's Boat, Tower of Science, all that, I think all those ones weren't like too bad, if you know what I mean. But everything from Emma upwards, I don't like. Meaning there's only 5 buildings I truly hate. The rest I just kind of don't like. So I think, yeah, in terms of that, there's not really been buildings that I've really despised that much this year. Although, like I said in my best list, there wasn't any buildings that I really loved this year either. I think the buildings in 2021 were pretty mediocre as a whole. And I felt the same way about the characters. The whole 2021 was a very mediocre year. I am hoping that 2022 does improve in terms of buildings. The Red Alert has not been so great. I don't think. I quite like the mountain building, but I know that a lot of people don't like the mountain building, but I don't like the other building, that's for sure. So 2022 isn't looking too great so far. So I'm hoping that the first major update of the year really sets it right and we get some really cool looking buildings. And hopefully we don't get any more super premium buildings outside of Black Friday. That's my wish anyway. But yeah, anyway, thanks for watching this video. We're going to 25 minutes now, so I'm going to wrap it up. So thanks for watching. I hope you enjoy. I'll see you in the next one. Goodbye.